Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom, and welcome to another exciting episode of Frail Conversations. And today, as you've seen from the title, we're going to be talking about transactional lust. Now, this is not about prostitution or none of that, but I was going to name it transactional love, but then I'm learning that our relationship template has no love in it. It's only lust and expectation. And matter of fact, I'm going to change it to that now. Whatever the title is now, when you see it, then that's what it is. I'll figure it out. Um, but yeah, I want to talk about the transactional love or how relationships are transactional, but I want to go a little bit deeper as to why. It's something that we often don't, I ain't gonna say we, but most people don't even discuss it because they don't even know that it's something that needs to be discussed when it comes to how relationships play out. You feel what I'm saying? The the template, like, and I'm for my brothers, this is gonna be, you know what I'm saying, something that is unique to us and specific to us because of the way it affects us on a grander scale. This is one of the reasons why we have to develop the mentality of alphas and high value men and all of this other sucker shit, not realizing what it is. Like, we're in a space where men, like, it's, I don't know, maybe it's just the culture, but the current time is the current time. So it's the highest peak of whatever it is. You feel what I'm saying? But the way in which we as men are guided into relationships is trash, right? It's trash as fuck because we are involving ourselves continually and it's getting worse with women who don't know how to treat men. Now, don't get me wrong, y'all. I didn't cross over to the other side of fucking red pills and shit, but y'all gotta fucking hear me out from beginning to end of this as to why we are in the relationships that we're in, why we as men are desiring to go 50-50, why we as men are, a lot of us are saying fuck relationships and fuck love because we are understanding what love is as we get older. You feel what I'm saying? Before we actually fall in love with somebody, the love template is cool. It works. You feel what I'm saying? It's about expectation and expectation alone, right? And I don't think we spend enough time understanding that because the relationship template as a whole is expectation. You feel me? Women don't know how to treat us. Women don't know how to treat men. They know how to reward expectations that are met. Men don't know how to be treated by women. We only know how to receive the rewards of expectation. Now, the bigger problem comes in when the rewards are diminished and the rewards get reduced and reduced and reduced to where the only reward that you receive is sex. And then it becomes transactional after that. You feel what I'm saying? As a motherfucker, and this is why I said it's not going to be on a red pill shit, because the stories that I have, the expectations were always met. You feel what I'm saying? And in those expectations being met, I was able to see women don't really know how to treat men. They know how to reward you for meeting expectations. And what's the reward? Some pussy. Like, that's the highest reward. Like, you feel me? It ain't no, I'm gonna listen to you. It's like there's other things that we would need and we require that would be good rewards that we don't get because they're not like, women are wired, not wired, because I don't want it to seem like it's natural. Women are programmed and conditioned to only provide the reward to the man. So women, their pussy is the highest value to them. Like, you feel what I'm saying? That's why when you look at the structure, when you look at what it is, like, women are willing to follow the 90-day rule to of no sex for 90 days, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it all comes down to sex. You feel me? Birthday sex. Like, men, we get the same sex for different occasions. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Oh, she gonna give me some birthday head or whatever the case. It's the same head she always be doing. She just actually gonna do it. Like, she's gonna do it without attitude. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Not on any funny shit. Well, fuck that. This so for a conversation that shouldn't be in this motherfucker anyway. But that's the way the relationship dynamic is played out. And like I said, I'm not trying to be funny or rude or come off sideways, and you know what I'm saying, but this is the reality. Look at social media right now. Everything has gotten so transactional, but it's based off, like, we're looking at why we look at the that and not the why. We keep saying, yo, why are relationships so damn transactional? They've been transactional. You're just seeing them on a regular basis. And like I said, this goes into the episode on consumption because we constantly consume that relationships are supposed to be transactional, right? Women are only going to give to a man who meets the expectation that they have set. You feel what I'm saying? And we as men ain't jumping through hoops no more. We're refusing to jump through hoops because when we jump through these hoops, we ain't getting shit. That's the biggest problem. We ain't getting shit. And for the sisters that are crept into shit, you have to acknowledge that from the consumption of what we see on a regular basis, y'all have conditions as to which you submit. We don't have conditions as to which we can lead. I'm going to lead a chick who shuts the fuck up. I'm going to lead a chick who does this. Like, y'all don't even meet the expectations for us to actually lead you correctly. But men got to meet the expectations just for a woman to submit to them, not realizing that that submission is unnatural. And the way in which we define leadership is not right. And all that comes back into because our relationships are set off of expectations. And if the expectations are met, you will be rewarded. And the longer the expectations are met, the longer the relationship is going. This is one of the reasons why women are divorcing. Women divorce men at a lot higher rate because there's when you don't meet the expectations anymore, but she no longer set any expectations, any higher expectations or any expectations as a whole. And now she says they're irreconcilable differences. That's crazy, but that's the way we are. But before I dive heavy into that, be sure to follow me on Instagram at _just_scene_. Be sure to check out my website at IamJustSeen.com to get all things that are just seen. To all those who tip, donate, and sponsor to the podcast, you are greatly appreciated. To all those who would like to tip, donate, and sponsor to the podcast, you can do so by clicking the link in the description of the podcast. Not the episode, but the podcast itself. Cash App and PayPal are just fine. And you know the vibe. That's that for this and that's this for that. So we're going to take a quick break and we're going to come back to So Frail Conversations, Transactional Expectations. And don't forget to visit IamJustSeen.com. There, you can get all things Just Seen. You want to add the So Frail series to your library? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You want to learn how to master the markets for serious trading and investing? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You want to get your hands on some exclusive merch like tees, hoodies, coffee mugs, hats, bags? Visit IamJustSeen.com. Are you thinking about transitioning into the plant-based lifestyle? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You ever want to just chat with Seen about anything from simple advice to mentorship? Visit IamJustSeen.com. Anything and everything that is me, you can find at IamJustSeen.com. So take a quick peek into my world to see why being just seen is nothing less but always more. Because you never really know what you need until you see it, and you will never see it unless you visit IamJustSeen.com. I knew the title would come to me when it needed to come to me. But welcome back. And without further ado, we're going to dive heavy into it. And with me coming to terms with the title of it being Transactional Expectations, now I can, get into my flow. So y'all know, like, I observe a lot of shit and I pay attention to a lot of shit. And I'm just watching the conversations go. Like, these podcast scapes are just, I'm watching it go and go and go. And it's the same shit. Women saying, I'll submit to a man, conditional. Like, men, we have to, the love for us is conditional. There's not a person alive, and it's programming. Don't get me wrong. It's not natural. Nobody naturally conditionally loves somebody. Equally, nobody naturally unconditionally loves somebody, right? But as we have to be conditioned as to our perception of love. So now, what we define as love. Let me start with that. What we define as love and what we use as love is not what I always be saying about the power for betterment through correction. You feel me? Because you get in these relationships with women thinking you loving them and they don't want to change. So your love is not correcting them, or there's no correction there. It's like, oh, nah, she could be the same. Like, I refuse to accept the reality that they're like, yo, men can't handle these women, because no, these women don't want to change. And if a person does not want to change, they cannot be loved. Now we got to flip it. We always talk about, oh, this person you can't love this type of person. No. A person unwilling, hear me well. This is for both sides of the field, us too. A person unwilling to change is unable to be loved, is incapable of being loved. Because by default, love is the power for betterment through correction. It's not the amalgamation of the infatuation, admiration, desire, and lust that we feel. That's why you want to. That's why you don't want change. When you are operating from love under that definition of admiration, infatuation, desire, and lust, there's no need to change. There's just a reason to pick different people to honor those 4 points. But when you really desire change, you are willing to be loved, and you are open to be loved, and you are open to be corrected to become better. You feel what I'm saying? The way in which the society has painted us is that we don't need to be loving each other. We need to continually lust over each other, right? Because what it is like I said, when that admiration, infatuation, desire, and lust come into play, now expectations are set. They're either going to be met or they're not. And women have the luxury, and the sister circles, all of this other bullshit that's going on, they're fucking you up because they're not making you change. They're making you stay the same, calling you the imagine being called a prize in a game that you're not even participating in. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, look at how transactional it is, and look at, we don't want to, like, women don't want to be viewed as women don't want to be viewed as trophy wives, but they want themselves to be prizes. They condition themselves to be a prize. So you're gonna be a trophy if I win. The fuck? The fuck? This is why this language is so fucking crazy, because motherfuckers be saying the shit that motherfuckers be affirming the shit that they're denying. Like, that's weird, right? Don't treat me like a trophy wife. Don't treat me like an object, but I'm the prize. The highest object? So don't treat you like an object, but you're the best fucking object? What? You're the object I win for winning the game. You feel what I'm saying? That's another whole that's a whole nother reality to it too. This is all a game. Everything, look at the language of how relationships are played out. It's a game. You played me. You cheated. It's a game. But it's a game predicated on the fact of expectations. A woman says, she will conditionally say, I will do these things for a man if he meets my requirements. And the man says, your requirements are bullshit. Now we're reaching the point where the fanaticism is coming to play. You feel what I'm saying? So many relationships, so many women have now been brought up without fathers or absent fathers. And you can be a present father and still be absent. You feel me? Trust me. I know I've had my plethora of women who had fathers who didn't have fathers. Nigga just wasn't, he was there, but he won't there. And I was filling gaps that I was like, wait, your daddy he ain't love you like that? And I exploited it as a kid. This is what I'm going to get into now, for the So Frail conversations. I exploited it in my younger years, telling women that they were beautiful, knowing that their father wasn't telling them. And I'm saying, oh, I never heard that I was beautiful before. I didn't. Yo, that shit goes to women's head, bro. That shit goes to women's head. But then we have to look at how transactional this shit goes in. Now that I'm in my 30s and I'm experiencing women and shit like that, I'm like, women will, if you meet my expectations, I'll fuck with you. Now, something that is always, and I'll give you some pussy. Like, it's like, yo, I'm not calling them hoes. I'm not calling them whores or no shit like that. I'm just speaking on a basic reality. When you meet all of a woman's expectations, she give you some pussy. Art imitates reality, and content is what content is. If you look at content, they're telling you that. You meet all my expectations, I'll give you some pussy. They call it safety, they call it security, they call it whatever it is. But you meet all my expectations, I give you some pussy. And as a motherfucker who has always met the expectations of women, I've always getting pussy. This is why I lost count. Now, this is not a horn tutor. I'm a toot it, but this is not a real horn tutor to say, you feel what I'm saying? Yeah, I always met, because the expectations were basic. Create a society in which women deprived of the basic things of it, like give a woman the attention. If her expectation is attention, you can get the pussy like that. Like, no funny shit. But that's how the relationship template is built. I used to be thinking like, they'll convince you, oh, women are hoes, she'll give it up too fast. No, she gives it up when the expectation is met. Some women don't have expectations for men. That's why they give it up faster. But then some women do have higher expectations and you can still meet it. You feel what I'm saying? I've had women that have, been, I don't fuck on the first date. I don't do this. You ain't met me, motherfucker. And I mean that with the most modesty, because then once we start vibing and they see where my mind is, like, my natural presence makes they pussy throb and they want to fuck and they give me some pussy. Like, but it's because I meet every expectation. You feel what I'm saying? They know that in my presence, they will be protected and provided for. That's crazy because that's the bare minimum. Survival. A woman needs to know that she can survive. And now, because of the way society is, we like, yo, I got to meet certain expectations. And y'all dudes that's out there, it's like, yo, y'all out here chasing skirts that don't want to be chased, bro. Stop it. Stop it. Bad bitches have no expectations. No, no. Bad bitches have unrealistic expectations. That's why they be trying. And the thing about bad bitches is that, and this is something that I've learned from fucking with bad bitches. Because, you know, bad bitches used to be my problem. Yeah, like the fuck. That's no, let me stop. Bad bitches have fucked up inner children. Their inner child is fucked up. And they create the bad bitch persona to keep the inner child protected. You be thinking that you'll see you know, the quote, like, look at the podcast space. You'll see the chicks that's like, yo, bitch, you ain't even, and I mean it podcast conversation wise. I'm not actually saying it, but like, bitch, you're not even worth what you talking about. You're not even at the point of what you talking about. You feel what I'm saying? But yet you demanding some shit that you not, it's not that. These are defense mechanisms to keep her inner child safe, which makes her a bad bitch. You feel what I'm saying? In order to understand that concept, my brothers, because some of y'all ain't cut from this cloth, you got to be a real nigga to understand that. A real nigga is a defense mechanism for a fucked up inner child. As a former real nigga, I can tell you that a real nigga is a defense mechanism. As a motherfucker who still hangs with real niggas and shit, and I can tell, nigga, you need a hug. But you feel what I'm saying? We can't get to that point. Real niggas and bad bitches are defense mechanisms for a fearful inner child. And I put these walls up. And as for on the women's side, they put these walls up because that's who we talk about with this conversation. So they put these walls up to protect themselves. So I create these unrealistic expectations so you can't get close. Not only you can't get close, you won't. But then now in my mind, I can psychologically prepare myself and tell myself that you don't fuck with me because you can't meet my expectations. No, you don't want me to meet your expectations. You feel me? Bad bitches are easy to fuck, bro. Like, especially when you know how to see their inner child. Every bad bitch that I had in my past days and shit who was self-proclaimed bad bitch who talk about this and that and third, I made her crumble. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm crying in front of you. What are you doing in front of me? I'm touching your soul. I'm allowing your inner child to play around. Because while you that bad bitch, I was that real nigga. And I healed that shit to realize why I was a real nigga in the first place. Overly aggressive, all of that shit. Like, I was the real nigga. I was a real nigga all my life. Till it was time to do some real nigga shit. And then I was like, I don't want to be that real of a nigga, but those are all defense mechanisms to protect the inner child. When you don't have a father growing up, the fuck who never had a pop never had a son, nobody to go and get. So that's why I never run. But it becomes a defense mechanism. That little boy is still in there, that inner child is still in there. You don't think that same shit is in the women? You feel me? And that's how I be knowing y'all ain't never had no bad bitch. Like, not no real one. Well, nah, they all real ones because they bad bitches. But this is how I be knowing y'all ain't never really had a bad bitch. Because not when I mean have her, I mean have her. You feel me? I make bad bitches come back to me. Like, they think they gonna go find something else, and they be like, "Oh no, he made me better. He made me not want to be bad no more. He made me reduce the defense mechanism and work on my motherfucking self." You feel what I'm saying? But when we operating from a realm of transactional expectations, you're never gonna get that because her defense mechanism creates the expectations that are so high that you're like, bitch, you're not even worth that shit. But now, because of that, think about when think excuse me. Think about what I said about how when the transactions are met, when the expectations are met, she'll give you the pussy. You want to know how easy it is for these girls to create OnlyFans and shit? If you got an OnlyFans, you got one. I'm not knocking you. I'm not disrespecting you or no shit like that. But, you know, you shouldn't be listening because this is so Frail Conversations. This is for the broskies. You feel me? But when you look at the women that are, you know, they brag about my OnlyFans this, I can do OnlyFans. I love my body. I have this, that, and the third. There's some trauma in there that they ain't healed. There's expectations that were never met that they no longer give a fuck about. Why have the expectation set to give the pussy out when motherfuckers ain't gonna meet it? Or if they don't even have, it's like, yo, fuck it. Now you're gonna pay for me. You feel me? And niggas is doing it. You motherfuckers is doing it. Cause these motherfuckers is eating, bruh. These OnlyFans chicks is eating. And it's like, it's the same system. So now they try to say, oh yeah, we get BBLs for men. No, the fuck you don't. No, the fuck you don't. You get BBLs and all of this other shit so you can have that, so you can create the allure. So now you can increase in your mind the value that now warrants the expectations you have. They don't want to talk about that part. They don't want to talk about that part. And the men don't want to talk directly to them at that part because you got to have empathy to be able to see that. You feel me? And you got to understand that, yo, this shit is all transactional and expectational. Like, you're not going to. And another part of that is like, you got to be in the game to know that. Y'all heard my jam session on body count. No wonder y'all was always bitching about the body counts because y'all was never in the body count. So because of that, you don't have the empathy. I'm watching these podcast dudes just go ham on these girls and these women and like, you ain't shit, bitch, you this, that, and the third. They mad. And it's like, yo, you're not healing. You're not healing. You're bleeding on people. That's not the same shit. You need to have empathy. You need to have that level of, develop that level of understanding. So that way you can see, oh, this shit's all off of expectation. I don't want to be in expectation no more. Because now, when it comes into expectations, now you become performative. You feel what I'm saying? Mentally, when our relationship, this is going to suck to say, but our relationship has been reduced down to animalistic behavior. So much so that we accept the shit and not realize that we're higher order. We're humans. Contrary to popular belief, humans are not a part of the animal kingdom. I know their scientists have said they're a part of the human. Like, no, there's the human kingdom, the animal kingdom, and the plant kingdom. Humans are their own fucking kingdom. We're not no fucking animals. You see what I'm saying? And they say, well, we're high order. No, we're not higher order thinking animals. They're basing that off the fact that the Neanderthal is the transitionary phase, but some of us didn't emerge from that Neanderthal bloodline. But I'm not going to go down that line. I'm sticking to the Frail conversations. You have the human kingdom, the animal kingdom, and the plant kingdom. And of course, the marine kingdom, which is the animals and shit. I mean, the sea, the marine life and shit. But on this earth, on the land, on the terror side of this motherfucker, you have the human kingdom, the plant kingdom, and the animal kingdom. You see what I'm saying? The human kingdom, which is us, which is supposed to be us, has been reduced down to acting and behaving like the animal kingdom. We have become performative. The men do mating rituals, and the women have to accept. If that does not put the fact that we have transactional expectations on relationships, I don't know what does. But it's also why I want an alpha man. I want this, that, and the third. Like, everybody keep talking about men pursue, men do this, that, and the third. It's like, yo, why are y'all animal? But then it goes back to the religious side of it. You can't separate the two. The religion sets the ground for the shit. Right? Men pursue the woman, which means men, you go follow the expectation that a woman has set. But now, on a core level, this is one of the reasons why Jezebels are what they are, because Jezebel, like, y'all hear me say it all the time, women ain't naturally submissive, bro. Women can't be submissive. That's why I have yet to see a submissive relationship work, bro. I have yet to see a submissive relationship function and produce anything other than kids. I haven't, because women aren't meant to be submissive. They're meant to be unleashed, and nobody's understanding that because they think it violates a religious code. Oh, I'm gonna be a Jezebel, this, then the third, or rather than throwing some pussy out and getting fucked, create something productive. Become a producer and not just a consumer. You feel what I'm saying? Take that creative energy and produce something. I reached a new point in my life, and it's got scary over the last couple months and shit when I was realizing this shit. It's like, yo, I can't fuck with women who don't produce shit. It was like, damn, I am annoyed by the shit. It's like, yo, what do you do? Fuck, like, the conversation is, what do you bring to the table? Expectation based off of, you know what I'm saying? How do we survive? How can we eat? I said that in the same body count jam session. I'm like, stop assuming that if you cannot seduce him, he gay. You out here worried about a table with no food on your plate. Too many dates for food with fools, gold, and mild rivals. All we worried about is eating. We so stuck inside survival. That's it. Can you afford a high quality meal? I ain't even gonna say high quality because it ain't high quality. It's all processed shit. Can you afford an expensive meal at leisure? That's it. That's the expectation, my nigga. Can you afford an expensive meal on our first date? Sit with that. That's the expectation. And then now they're like, oh, you think you're gonna expect some pussy for the yeah. As a real one though, hear me well, y'all. I'm just saying this because this is my own experience. If you wondering if you gonna get some after that date, you was a lick. You're getting some after that date because it's the transaction. She already told her homegirl she's gonna fuck you. She's already dropped the pin location. She's already told that you feel so good to her and you just feel comfortable. She's gonna fuck you. If you're him, I ain't even gonna say you're him. If you're you, if you're highest version of yourself, because you feel me? I'm seen. I'm not him. You feel what I'm saying? I'm saying I'm a proper noun. Y'all could be pronouns. I'm a proper noun, my guy. But when those things play out and that happens, that's when the transaction transpires. You feel what I'm saying? Because we've been reduced down to animals, and then it's about the mating ritual. The women say, I'm going to pick who has the best mating ritual. With that being said, even from an animalistic perspective, when you can know when a younger one or a more vibrant one comes with a better mating ritual, she's going to pick because we're sticking in line with the animal kingdom. Women have this knack of flipping back and forth when they want to be animals and humans. Men are the alphas. They hunt. They you know what I'm saying? They hunt. They pursue. They do all this stuff. But I'm a human. I'm a human. So I'm not going to go to the highest bidder or to the one with the better mating ritual because it's about expectations and transactions. So tying it back to the point, I reached to the point where I'm like, yo, I get annoyed when women can't produce shit. Didn't realize it, but it's starting to you tell by the episodes and the content that I'm delivering now. It's like, damn, I'm talking to a woman. It's like, I like the producer in you. I reached the point where I don't give a fuck what you can bring to a table. Fuck that. Fuck the table at this point. We're well aware of what each other can bring to the table. What can you create in this world? Because that shows a lot to me. You feel what I'm saying? That shows me a lot when you tell me what you can produce in this world. Because how good are you at developing raw materials? Because now it's like, this is what I talk about. Women don't like to be submissive. A submissive woman can't produce shit for kids. A submissive woman is not a producer. An unleashed woman is a producer. And like I said, I'm merging timelines and I'm not necessarily saying involving, but I'm becoming more familiar with women who they create shit. They create shit. And I was like, yo, why the fuck does that shit turn me on? And why does why does the expectation shit turn me off? Because I'm not in that space anymore. Now this ties into the other side of it because now when you're performative, you feel me? I perform for the expectation because that's what they teach us to do as men. You perform and you get rewarded. Now, women don't understand why men cussed them out after they spoke. They performed the way they were supposed to perform to get the fucking number. I've never had to cuss a chick out. You feel me? But at the same time, I've always been good with rejection because you have a difficulty with rejection when you've been told that from the expectation, you get the reward. Women would tell you all day long, you'll be watching these. All you got to do is come up, have a good conversation, and this, that, and the third and shit. But she got to want you. So now you go up and have that conversation as you feel, and then it fucks you over. And then the transaction doesn't transpire the way it is. Y'all, we got to realize that we're dealing with a society of people right now who are stuck in survival mode, for one. And for two, whose relationship template is based off expectation. And the template is men meet the expectation, women provide the reward for the expectation being met. This is why she can never be satisfied. The fuck? It ain't got nothing to do with narcissism. That's another thing. A lot of women, because some women don't have expectations. They'll call you a narcissist. I've never been called a narcissist, but they'll call you a narcissist. They'll blame your zodiac sign. Now they have blamed Aries like a motherfucker. And I was like, that wasn't Aries shit. That was Capricorn stellium shit. You just want shit. But the thing was, they didn't have any expectations. There's the other side of that expectation shit. Some women's expectations are too high. Some women don't have expectations, and they're just because of who you are, they'll throw the pussy at you just because of the affiliation. Some women will make you earn the pussy. Some women won't. But it's all off of the expectation. And as a motherfucker who's gotten pussy from women I had to earn it from and women I didn't, it's the same. Women be thinking the shit is sunshine and roses and shit, and it's something special. No, I just met the expectation. And in my mind, as a man, when the expectation wasn't hard to do, the fuck I'm gonna fuck with you for? I didn't realize that until like I started developing that when I was in undergrad. Like I had this mentality like, yo, if I fuck you before three, man, when I started putting women on the 3 day plan, that shit got scary, but it taught me something. I was like, yo, she has no expectations. I fucked her in 3 days. 3 days, my nigga. I was so fluid. I was getting head the day I met a chick. That was a whole different realm. But what level of expectation did I already meet? Or what standard of expectation did she not have to where bam, 24 within 24 hours you sucking my dick and you don't even know me. But whatever I did was smooth enough to convince you that you knew me enough to suck me off. Or whatever I did was convincing enough for you to give me some pussy 3 days later. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's off of the transactional relationship of expectations. And now you got the big dogs who gonna meet the expectation when they walk in the room. You feel me? So now, because women are not understanding or coming to grips with the fact that this is expectation-based relationships, they say, you know what? I can't dodge these motherfuckers, so I'm gonna increase the expectations. You gotta have 6 figures, you gotta do this, that, and the third, you gotta do this, that, and the third. I'm still gonna fuck. Y'all ever wondered why that shit hits so motherfucking hard? I don't care what a woman says to you. She could say you dick little. She could say you broke. She could say whatever it is. It hits and it cuts so much deeper when you respond back to it, but I still hit. With all of those things that I did not, with all of those expectations I did not meet, you still gave me the very thing that you only give people when they meet those expectations. That's why I hit so hard. I still hit. And I still fucked. Yeah, that's why your dick was little. That's why this, but I still fucked. You feel what I'm saying? Some dudes get upset with those conversations. They be like, yeah, she tried to play me. You can't explain. Like, if I fucked you, don't ever disrespect me. I don't care if it was 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 seconds. I don't care. If my dick was in your vagina, you can't disrespect me. Because the joke's really on you. Because if you're gonna do all of this motherfucking slander towards my motherfucking name, and I still was able to meet every expectation to fuck you, does that say about you? Goes back into the transaction. You have the different sides of the women. You have the women who's uh have the expectations and women who don't. And then the women who claim they got the expectations and I fuck too. Like, come on, bro. You got me fucked up. But they don't really have us fucked up because this is the way the game is. You feel what I'm saying? Men are reaching the point where we're not performing anymore. We're not in a circus. So now when you look at the people that are like, oh, that man's a simp. Nigga, no. It be simps trying to use the word simp. Simp is a sucker impersonating a Mac or a pimp. Y'all niggas out here thinking y'all are Macs and the pimps calling dudes simp because we know how to get. No, we know how to meet expectations and exploit it a lot faster than y'all niggas do. Y'all can say it's simping all day long. The reality is you have now put up the same defense mechanism that the bad bitch has. So while the bad bitch, I put up all of these unrealistic expectations, I'm going, as the simp, I'm going to shit on the motherfuckers who actually honor those expectations to get some pussy. Nigga, it's all transactional. Oh, that's a simp. You gonna do this, that, and the third? Yes, nigga, that's how you get pussy, bro. When I don't know what age or what era a lot of these motherfuckers is in, but you dudes that are now in that era where y'all are calling dudes simps because you not fucking nobody, you calling simps, incels, or whatever the case may be, because they're actually meeting the expectations of getting pussy. That lets me know right there, you're not celibate by choice. I had a conversation one time, man. This shit was hilarious, right? Young boy, I had to blow his spot up, bro, because it was like I had said something. It was masculinity based. I'm speaking from paternal energy. I'm mature, man. I'm big homie now, bro. I'm unk low key. You feel me? I'm a young unk. I'm big homie now. You feel me? And I'm proud that I'm proud to be at this level of life. You feel me? To be a big homie, to be to be in that space, like big bro. I'm that, and I feel good being that. You feel what I'm saying? But dude is talking shit, young boy. Now you could have learned the game. You could have got some game from me. You know what I'm saying? Nigga don't get pussy. Oh, contrary to popular belief, nigga, I get so much pussy that I get to turn it down. Like, you feel me? I said, oh, I'm celibate by choice, nigga. Oh, don't please believe I can probably fuck your girl. I can fuck with you so bad that I can take your girl because I'll meet the expectations faster than you will. She ain't gonna fuck down, she's gonna fuck up. But she gonna fuck. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm talking to the young boy, and that was the first insult that he had. That's what these dudes do. You're doing this shit for pussy. That's why you don't get pussy. No, nigga, I can tell you don't. Because you're not willing to meet the expectations. You feel what I'm saying? I don't have to meet if they creeping in, man. Hey, it is what it is. It's the arrogant side of the scene in their eyes. But this is what So Frail Conversations is about. If if you understand how to meet the expectations, you can get the pussy faster. Now, if you understand the basic expectations of women, you can see it like, yo, I can literally get any woman that I want because I understand the basic expectations that they have. And y'all be wanting bad bitches, forgetting, not realizing the defense mechanism of a bad bitch, right? But even the bad bitches, I crack their core because they've been missing a father. So I give them paternal energy. But respectfully, in my later days, I would have been able to say, you know what, this is what you're missing. I'm not going to exploit that in you because you hurt. I'm gonna give you the paternal energy, the guidance, and the wisdom, the big homie shit that you're missing. Like, there's not a like. I promise you, there's no cap to the level of women that I have, to the level of women that I can have. Younger than me, older than me, cougars, milfs. It don't matter because the expectation. Once you know what the expectation is, you can meet it and you can transmute it at will. On paper, I'm the highest competitor. I'm an apex. I meet every expectation, my nigga. I'm tall. I'm handsome. I got a beard. The physical, I check that shit the fuck off. As an entrepreneur, like, you feel me? Like, I have charisma. I have captivating energy. Nigga, I'm not telling you this shit on some bragging shit. I'm telling you this shit off of the experiential shit that I had to shut down, which is why I've been celibate for the last 8 years. Understand, this goes back full circle to the conversation. I'm not celibate because I can't get it. I'm celibate because I don't want it no more right now. And then on top of that, I knew, okay, let me put my creative energy somewhere else because I had to transition because it's like the expectation is too easy to meet. We be thinking, oh, that bitch easy, man. She a hoe. She's not a hoe because she let you fuck. Because there's another nigga right now that she will not get a pussy to because he did not meet the expectations. There's been several women I met the expectations for on face value. There's been several women who had to put that front up because I met them expectations on face value, and she had to just distance herself because it's like, I'm different. It's different when you're in the presence, and I'm telling you this experience because this is not just me. This is a lot of us that are like this. We got that. It's the je ne sais quoi. That's what the French call the shit. You feel me? But it's because you meet the expectation the moment you ever, you know what I'm saying? Like, she told her homegirls you can get it. If she's never told her homegirls you can get it, you didn't meet the expectation from the jump. You see what I'm saying? I've had, like, undergrad was so beautiful, man. I had women plotting to fuck me, right? But because I was in a relationship from the end of my freshman year, like the second semester of my freshman year to the summer before my junior year, I was in a relationship. When they found out that I was single, I didn't have to go look for it. I didn't have to go look for it. The anticipation was already built because the expectation was already met. I crossed, like, I'm a science major. You feel me? I got a nice GPA. I'm campus oriented. You feel what I'm saying? I'm known, nigga. Like, yo, the expectation was easy. Women will be inviting me to come study with them and shit, man. I never forget it, man. I should have fucked up. I really should have. I ain't gonna hold you, yo. I should have fucked up. I should have fucked up. But no, I wanted to be faithful. I should have fucked up. We had physics together. And when I say this was hands down, when I think about my experience in undergrad, like, this was the most beautiful woman that I've experienced in that time frame, even far beyond the woman that I was with. And that's what was like. And then when the woman I was with seen her, I was like, she was like jealous as fuck. And I said, now I realize now why. But she was a science major like me. You feel me? Long fucking natural hair, like down her fucking back. It was hers. Like, you feel me? She was fucking beautiful, bro. She was fucking beautiful, man. I should have fucked up. But you feel me? We had physics together. And so we studying, and as we're studying and shit, it's like she was my lab partner. Not only she became my lab partner, and then it was like, yeah, I want you. I want you. You feel me? You got your head on your shoulders. She was in the Air Force. She was running all the time. I used to have to tell the shorty that I was with, yo, let's go exercise, blah, blah, blah. Now, mind you, no, I didn't, because she was cheering. Because she was a cheerleader, she worked out after. But when she stopped cheering, she didn't care. She didn't go back. So she needed guidance. This woman had discipline. I was like, damn, I should have fucked up. But this person, so it was like, we studied. I'm like, yo, meet me in the library because I don't want no shit. She was like, first she's like, yo, come to my house and we study. Oh no, baby, I can't. I told her, so I started making up excuses. I like, nah, I gotta eat. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I cooked. I got some spaghetti. I come in. And so my thing was this. This is when I knew that I could have, you feel me? Because I'm like, yo, why don't you just come to the campus and come to the library and shit? Because she lived off campus. I said, come to the library. We study in the library. She said, no, why don't I do this? She said, because I don't feel like going to she said, I don't feel like coming to campus. But why don't I do this? I come get you. You come back to my spot and then we study. Then I take you back. I got spaghetti so you can eat. I'm like, oh, you really trying it. Yo, like, it's like she was hitting three birds in one stone. I said, nah, I can't do it. I said, nah, just come to the library, yo. When I get to the library, mind you, I still got on the same outfit that I had on when we was in class that day. You feel what I'm saying? She comes in, whole different outfit, smelling like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, oh, don't do it. Don't do it. And it was hard not to resist the temptation, but it was like, yo, the expectation, the point that I'm making with that was that I had already reached the preliminary expectation. Because now she wanted me. They tell women all the time, you feel me? Don't pursue the man. Don't pursue. As a man who's been pursued, I'm going to tell you why women pursue men. Now, for the ladies that are listening, y'all can shut the fuck up because you know that I'm going to be right. Once the woman already qualifies you through the expectations, oh, she gonna magnetize to you. She ain't gonna call it pursuing you. She ain't gonna call it chasing you. She just gonna magnetize to your motherfucking ass. And that's what the relationship shit is supposed to be about. But the thing about it is, it's like, girl, you the prize. You this, that, and the third. They'll hype you up out of some shit. You be looking at a man right in front of you that has met your expectations. And then once the expectations are met, you now know that you want to fuck him. Because you don't even know that. Because now that's the sad part. This is what I've learned over the years too. When she ain't got shit else to give, she get pussy. And now that's why if y'all have ever been in this space where you're dealing with a woman who constantly asks you, is it good? Am I the best you ever had? And shit like that. It's like she gave you her last. She gave you the highest form of what she felt was valuable to her because you met those expectations. And if you can get it somewhere else, and if it's better, like I tell women all the time, do not ask me that question. Do not ask me that question. Now, being that I've been celibate for so long, the first one that I involved myself with, if she asked me that question, I'm like, you know what? You might be for now. Like you are. Because I'm not fucking nobody else. Like, so yeah, at this point, from that hiatus that I had, you will be. But in the time, she was like, am I the best? No. Don't ever ask that question again. Please. Please. There's women that I don't even remember their names who have beat you right now. Please don't do that. But that's how the relationship template is built. If you meet her expectations, she will give you some pussy. Not if you meet her expectations, she will become more of herself. This is what I'm talking about. When you talk about submission, it's been reduced so much to, oh, you can have his babies, you can do that. We've been reduced down to animals through this transactional relationship shit. Women, the men are going to pursue. And if a man pursues you right, okay, now I'll do, like, he met the basic expectations. Expectations for what? Survival. And then the fact that everybody got universal expectations, that's weird. That's weird as fuck to me. Everybody has universal expectations, but everybody is an individual. That shit don't work. That's why y'all motherfuckers be fucking up. That's why we be listening to these red pill motherfuckers saying shit like, oh, she's a red flag that she's this. She's a red flag for him because he can't meet her expectations. I promise you, my nigga, hear me well. If you meet those expectations, I'll rip that woman a change for you. I heard this quote, and I'm gonna co-sign it because it's real. Bull said, I don't have to lie to women. If she fuck with you enough, she'll lie to herself. I stand by that. When you meet those expectations, you exceed them above and beyond, she'll lie to herself for you. She will lie to her motherfucking self. It's the allure. Oh, girl, he got it. The potential is far beyond. Not only now, here's another point. When you are beyond potential and you have made it actuality, oh shit. Shit. One of the things that I pride myself on is doing what the fuck I said I was gonna do. Completing what I said I was gonna complete. If you ever want to be upper echeloning, if you ever want to be the top of the food chain, if you ever want to get pussy at will, do what you said you was gonna do. Not only that, do it because it needs to be, and do it on your own volition and get it done. When women see shit like that, they don't turn you down. You are automatically meeting expectations. They've already planned a life with you. Right now, I say right now, there's probably like a good 10, 15 women that have already married me 3 times over. And I don't know their name. Nah, I'm fucking with y'all. I'm fucking with y'all, yo. I'm fucking with y'all. But yo, this is the reality though. But like, that's real. I've had women who, I've talked to them, and I'm a very modest person. I'm a very modest person. I'm confident in myself because everything that I've accomplished, I only verify myself and I only standardize myself off of what I've accomplished, and I don't erase that shit. So a lot of motherfuckers that have not accomplished or even remotely scratched the surface of the shit that I've done, they'll call me arrogant, but it's like, you don't even know what I've gone through. You don't even know what I've done to be able to be stable here. So I know that. So I'll be like, I tell people, either you're going to be intimidated or you're going to be inspired. And now when it comes to women and shit, once, depending on how you tweak those expectations, you're either going to be intimidating to them or you're going to be inspiring to them. There's women right now who are intimidated by me, but I become their standard. So they'll go look for another man standardizing him off of me. Excuse me. But then there's other women who, on the other side of that, they're inspired and it makes them grow and be better. And they change their lifestyle. They start building themselves up a better and shit, whatever. Like, just to say, all right, bet. Damn, you already, and this is how I know women don't like to be submissive. When you meet the expectations for the woman that motherfucking wants you, she gonna change to have you. Fuck the sister circles right now, my nigga. Hear me from the experience of a motherfucker. See, the women are gonna tell you about the perspective of a man that they don't understand. I'm telling you from the perspective of the man that I know. And the men that I know, when you put that exceedingly and abundantly shit, like y'all know that shit that they be talking about, they call them pick me's and shit, but the girls they be like, the ladies they be like, oh, I can't wait to be like my man, my man, my man. Yeah, you met the expectations. She wanted to fucking change for you. She don't give a fuck about what her homegirl's talking about. She don't give a fuck about that misery. She don't give a fuck about that bullshit. She made the necessary changes because the expectations were met, because she knew that she was being unleashed. It's real. Women are not naturally submissive. And that's what I'm tying in. I'm going to tie this back into the point that I was making at the beginning. Women aren't naturally submissive. And men aren't natural leaders. Right? So when they be like, I need a man who leads, they don't want a man who can lead. They want a man who's in front. Because if you're leading her, the leader brings the best out of the group, a natural leader. Which means what? You're unleashing her. So what is it that women really want when a man is trying to lead them? And you want a horse in front of your carriage. That's what it is. Women don't want a man to lead. They want a horse in front of their carriage. That's it. Because if you really wanted a man to lead and he's seen the bullshit in you, he would change. One of the things that's always going to fuck me up. I meet expectations on a regular basis, but when it comes to leadership, I lead mentally, physically, and spiritually. They only want a man to lead physically, but I'm able to lead mentally, physically, and spiritually, which means I'm able to bring the best out of you, to draw the best out of yourself. So even if I can't lead you you can do the shit because I've given you the skills and the resources. There's women right now who I've imparted certain shit within them. We don't fuck around no more, but they would tell me, not necessarily indebted in that way, but they would say, yo, you helped change my life. That's what the fuck I was supposed to do. I wasn't supposed to ruin it. The fuck? Even relationships that ended bad, they're like, yo, you still made me better. You won't shit, but you still made me better. You made sure that when when you and I separated, if we separated, I'd still be good. I know that's what was supposed to happen. Cause that's what leadership is, motherfucker. But we lead physically. Now, how do you lead mentally and spiritually? These are where my deficits are coming in. Because I know how to lead mentally and spiritually, you got to deal with a motherfucker who wants to change. When society goes back to the consumption, when you keep consuming that you the prize and they keep consuming and nothing's wrong with them, that they don't have to change, they're not going to be able to be led mentally. They're not going to be able to be led spiritually, because especially spiritually, if you follow a religion that I know, I'm like, yo, and I can break it down. Yo, this is why you stuck. This is why you fucked up. You feel what I'm saying? You have a fucked up conceptualization of your higher power. And what kind of man would I be if I know this is detrimental to you and I don't lead you to it now? How do you be led through that without coming out the wrong way? Because now you have to deal with everybody around you. Ooh, girl, he trying to change you. Ooh, girl, he this. Ooh, girl, he that. Ooh, girl, that. I'm leading you and I'm drawing the best out of you. You can't in one breath complain. Every woman that has come into my space ever in my life, I led them. And the sad part is like this. I asked them, now I'm getting to a point where I ask them from the jump, do you really want to be led? Not just do you want a motherfucker in the front, do you really want to be led? And not just led physically. You feel me? Because if I'm going to lead you mentally, I can't leave you stupid, because you have to know what I know if you're going to be on par with me. You feel what I'm saying? So now when I get to talking to women who say shit like, oh, nah, I'll just give you the money and I don't want to learn about trading and investing. I don't need to fuck with you then, because I'm not leading you at that point. I'm not leading you at that point. Because if I am leading you, when shit hits the fan, you're going to get left behind. I can't expose you to the shit that I can't expose you to shit that you're not willing to learn. You see what I'm saying? So when you're exposed and you're ready, oh, nah, that's not my thing. Well, it can't be our thing then. Because now it goes back to the point, I can't produce with you. You feel what I'm saying? We look at the expectations based off the table and shit, but expectations are based off of infatuation, admiration, desire, and lust. The shit that I am is supposed to be making you better. It's supposed to be catalyzing something greater out of you, not keeping you the fucking same. Hey, bro, for real though, at some point we got to stop talking to women about masculinity and start talking to each other about it. And I mean really talk to each other. Not as enablers and co-signers, but as men trying to reach the pinnacle of our essence. And that's what the So Frail series does. So Frail 1 is the definition. So Frail 2 is the acknowledgement. And So Frail 3 is the resolution. If you rock with the So Frail conversations, I can guarantee you will rock with the So Frail series of books. So visit IamJustSing.com right now so you can add the series to your library. I promise you will never look at masculinity the same again, and you're going to stop wasting your time arguing with women about it. This is a conversation that men need to have between men, and it's time we start having this conversation now. And if you don't want to change, then, and now, well, that's brainwashing. That's just, no, let me tell you what brainwashing is. Brainwashing is when I coerce you into doing what I want you to do. I make you believe everything I say, and I keep you completely oblivious as to how I arrived at that destination. I'm going to tell you everything I know. When I'm talking about, for example, when I'm talking about human design or something, I'm going to give you the book. I'm not going to tell you the human design as I know it. I'm like, hey, yo, this is the book that I read. You got to read this, break this down. And I'm going to show you how to do it. When I talk about astrology, numerology, when I talk about anything, when I talk about religion, I tell you what to look at. I tell you where to go to study it, what I study, the antithesis, and I help you guide through it. That's leadership. I'm not trying to brainwash you. I'm not trying to confuse you. I'm not trying to keep you in the dark. I'm bringing you to the motherfucking light. You feel what I'm saying? I'd be playing with you if I just, you got to trust me. No, don't trust me. I don't trust you. Respectfully. You feel me? And that's the problem, because when we talk about leadership and when we talk about relationships, our relationships, because they're so based off the expectations, if you meet the expectations, I trust you. No, trust is the basic level of the mind. Trust is the basic level of the mind, my nigga. And if you trust me, it's because you have to believe me. And now when you just believe me, you don't know the antithesis. I'm not leaving nothing for chance. No, you need to understand me. I'm going to let myself be on display to be understood. You either fuck with it or you don't. I'm not going to behave for you to believe that I'm a good person. No, I'm going to show you that. I'm going to give you all of me so you understand you understand why I'm supposed to be in your life. But when we have these transactional things and it's everything is based off of expectation, it ain't none of that. It ain't none of that. I had this young lady. Well, she ain't young. She's older. I don't know. She's older. I don't know how old she is. We probably around the same age. But it was more of a I know what you're trying to do, and I know what purpose I'm serving in your life right now. Let's hope you catch on. You feel me? So it's like it goes from I'm gonna add you to my stories, the green ones, and then I'm gonna, post seductive shit. Like I be low key dissing motherfuckers, yo, for real, for real. Like that's one of the reasons why I even wrote that jam session. Stop assuming that if you cannot seduce him, he gay. It ain't that she called me gay or nothing to try to come off me, but I use that in the context of seduction don't work. Seduction don't work. Like, and women's mentality and what they're teaching women now, which is a part of this conversation, is that they're teaching you to seduce men into meeting expectations. And when they meet an expectation, then it's like, yo, or when he already meets the expectation, but he's not paying you attention, seduce him. You can't seduce me. This is why I encourage y'all motherfuckers. Take a break. If you've been fucking, I'm gonna say like, if you've been fucking, go ahead and become celibate. And then understand seduction. If you are a virgin and you have not been fucking, I don't usually condone this at a young age when you're young. If you under the age of 18 and you first off, you're under the age of 18, I don't think you should be listening. But you feel me? If you hear, you hear. But if you were under the age of 18, then remain virgin. Don't be fucking nothing right now. If you're in your 20s and shit, 30s, fuck some, get familiar with the process, and then go celibate. Don't get wrapped up in the illusion, but then go celibate and you'll see what seduction really is and how easy it is to get you, because they cater to the ego, the fact that you can meet expectations. You feel what I'm saying? So in that, it's like the conversations have to be surface level, because it's like, oh, I just want to operate from the physical. Like I'm when it comes to religion and shit, I can't tell you to leave the religion alone. You know what I'm saying? I tell everybody to leave that bitch alone. Like the fuck? And there's no way I could be in a relationship with a woman that I'm gonna build on and procreate with, and she still fucks with the religion that enslaved us. You dig what I'm saying? I tell them all the time that shit. They think, oh nah, you just don't believe. You just no, nigga. I understand this shit. I understand it. When you have understanding, you get to a point where you either accept or reject it. You feel what I'm saying? But now, because of the religion, we are now in that transactional relationship. We can in one breath say we against patriarchy. You feel me? And then in the other breath say we're still going to be devout believers. In what, nigga? The very shit that you say you're against, that's a house divided. That's literally a house divided. So our women want the patriarchy in context, in relation to how it meets the expectation. You dig what I'm saying? They don't really want to be better. They don't really want to be better. They want to stay as they are and deal with men that meet their expectations. And they wonder why they don't grow. And we as men wonder why we don't grow, because we get to a point where, or even if we know that we reach certain expectations, we only fuck with women who have expectations beneath what we work for. You ever wondered why they program us this? Get a younger woman because she's groomable. Like, no, as a motherfucker who can pull a cougar at the drop of a hat, I had to realize that, nah, bro, that's not how we build. I'm a normal motherfucker. I'm a human. I'm a modest motherfucker. I'm an average motherfucker. I don't feel like I'm any special, grandiose person, but I still put in the work to be who I am. So knowing that I can pull a cougar, knowing that I can talk a cougar draws off the same way I would a young, it's not age at that point. It's not age anymore. And there's a deficit in what they're trying to teach us to be, because they want this gap. Because as long as there's that gap, as long as there's that gap, our energies will misalign. Because we'll be bringing paternal energy to sororal girls. And I'm calling them girls because if you're 10 years younger than me, you're a girl in my eyes. Like, You may be a grown woman legally, but you're still a little girl in my eyes because we take 10 years off of us. I'm 23, you 13. You're a little girl in my eyes. You feel me? So that's how I look at it. But at the same time, when we know that this is transactional now, they say you go deal with the younger. Like, how does that even balance? How does our expectation, how does the quality of us as a men develop so high that it makes us go back to inexperienced people? We don't see a problem with that because it's all off of expectation, transactional expectation. It's easier to meet the expectation of an inexperienced motherfucker. Now, simultaneously, this is not to say go fuck with the chicks that I ran through and all of that shit. I'm not talking about, there's women right now. There's women right now with no kids. They not ran through, but you overlooking them because their expectations are higher than what you're willing to look at. You feel what I'm saying? Even more than that, those same women they're not even up to par, I ain't gonna say up to par, up to the game of knowing that I know I'm not supposed to be submissive. They just haven't bridged the gap yet. They keep saying, I can't fuck with these dudes that ain't doing shit like you. I can't be submissive, but these women desire to be productive. They desire to produce something beyond kids, but they don't know what. Because now nobody can actually tap in because we locked into jobs and careers and shit that we can't produce shit but labor for other motherfuckers. You feel what I'm saying? One thing we have to look at when it comes to history, especially with our people, I don't know about the other, well, I know a little bit about the other cultures, but as far as our people, the reason why we were so productive and we were so artistic and we were so developed and advanced in life was because we unleashed one another. And we didn't have to distract ourselves from being the producers that we were supposed to be. Plot twist to arranged marriages. Arranged marriages were built off of human design, astrology, and numerology. We only paired you with a motherfucker you were supposed to harmonize with. Somehow, because it became transactional, it was how we going to unite kingdoms. That's when shit started changing. So now when you look at it, and then now this is why it was valuable for a woman to be a virgin. Because your pussy is the trade-off for the met expectation. And we that shit didn't stop now because we in these days and times. Nah, it's still going on right fucking now. And women are comfortable with it now. Women will fight you. Women will fight you to set the expectation to use their pussy as the dowry. Like, that's it. And I'm not saying it in a disrespectful way, because you feel me? I'm saying it in a realistic way. Truth hurts sometimes. You feel me? You have to have been in the game to understand what I'm talking about. You have to be in the game to understand what I'm talking about. When you meet expectations the right way, she will throw the pussy to you. I'm in a space, like I said, I'm in a space right now where my words alone make women's pussy wet. Because the way in which I speak, the way in which I articulate everything in life, it automatically triggers in their mind. He meets every expectation that I desire. But then I'm cool enough and human enough to say I'm not gonna leave you in the dark. I'm gonna put you on game. So I've always been conflicted even when I was a kid, because homies be like, yo, how you fuck her that fast? She a hoe, she just done the third. I've never fucked a hoe in a day of my life. I've never fucked a hoe in a day of my life. And they be thinking because you fuck her fast, that time is relative. Time is relative. You don't know how easily I broke those walls down and met the expectations. I fucked women who had boyfriends and they let me fuck first because I met expectations that their boyfriends didn't meet yet. I am seen, bro. I'm not him. I'm telling you, I'm not a pronoun. I am a proper noun, my nigga. I am that. You feel me? And we can all be that too if we decide to break the mold of what it is in these transactional things. Men, we need to naturally, my brothers, we need to naturally understand that we do not pursue women. We unleash them. I promise you. You want to have the best. You want to get the best relationship out of a woman. Don't go chasing the woman with expectation that you got to meet and everything. Like, go where you know you're supposed to be, where you're comfortable at, and find a woman and unleash her. I promise you, bro. It's gonna be one of the greatest experiences you'll ever have, as far as relationships go. Because when you cater to that, it's like gardening, bro. It's literally like gardening. When you want the best fucking fruit to grow, you got to till the land. Nobody should tell you what work you have to do. You have to figure the work out. You need to know that this needs nitrogen. It needs this. It needs to be cultivated. It needs this season off. It needs this, that, and the third. Everything needs a compost. It needs all of these different things. And then when you're able to unleash that earth, whatever you put into it, it grows, my nigga. That's the same with women. When you find a woman that you want to unleash, this is where they be coming in with the simping shit. Because simping, as they're defining it, simping is when you are purposely trying to meet the expectations. You're purposely trying to meet the expectations of women for some pussy. Mm-mm, mm-mm. I'm intentionally trying to unleash the best out of her, just so I can admire it, just so I can see the beauty in it. That's how you gonna find who the fuck is supposed to be for you. Because if she doesn't want to change, she cannot be loved, bro. Because with love comes correction. If she cannot change, she's not willing to be corrected. Therefore, she can't fuck with you. You can't fuck with her. She won't be unleashed any motherfucking way. Talk to a woman and you're telling her, hey, look, she telling you about her ideas. All right, let's go for it. Let me show you the product. Like when she crumbles, you know to leave her alone. She don't want to be unleashed, therefore she don't want to be loved. Therefore, she can't be loved. She don't want to be loved. She want to be lusted over. She's gonna fuck up the relationship with the next motherfucker who just meets the expectations. This is experience that I'm telling you about. You feel me? This ain't no hypothetical. I've dealt with several women who I've been unleashing, who I was like, bam, let's get. I'm not built for that. I'm not this, that, and the third, and they crumble. What? You crumbled on your own shit. Oh, you definitely gonna fall with mine. I can't have you in my space. I can't have you in my circle. Everybody was saying it's good, you can build the entrepreneurship while you in no, you can't. No, you can't, because that's simultaneously building yourself while you need people who are building themselves too. You feel me? Motherfuckers be thinking just because they can be a cheerleader in something that they can actually be a proponent in a situation, and they can't. You feel me? So no, I don't condone this, and I'm gonna say this for the record right now. If you are trying to become an entrepreneur, if you are trying to build or accomplish anything as a man, do not have a woman in your relationship. Yeah, oh, well, he left me. I was there when I ain't have nothing. Yeah, because she wasn't even trying to build anything. Your ambition met every expectation, so she was willing to wait for you, but she was not willing to grow or change in your presence to make herself better. So now, as you got better and as you developed, she stayed the same, and now you don't want her no more. And everybody's going to make it look like you're the bad guy. Not the fact that she didn't grow. Why? Because she submitted rather than allowed herself to be unleashed. And that's the issue. That's what this whole episode is about. Because as men, like I said, this is what I condone, stepping away from everything and getting your shit together. Because you're going to see a lot of shit change when you emerge out of this shit. Your attraction's going to change. Your mentality is going to change. There's shit that you have to become in order to become who you are. I know that saying. You said become twice. Yeah, there's shit that you have to become within the becoming of who you are. You're not just saying I am this. Like, there's shit you got to shed. There's shit you got to put. And there's always going to be that distraction if that woman's there, because as long as you meet her expectations, she wants you to stay that. I seen it within the 2 year pocket in which I was with a woman who at the time, she liked my potential. Then when my potential started actualizing, she didn't like that shit anymore. Oh, nah, this, that, and the third. I can't. You doing too. I'm not doing too much. If you would unleash your motherfucking self, she didn't want that. You feel what I'm saying? But again, being that I had already met the expectation, I was able to fuck her like the first time we exchanged numbers. But I didn't. I made a conscious choice to say, you know what? I'm going to hold out. I'm not going to fuck you because I don't fuck women like that I'm actually interested in that quick. I've evolved even beyond that. And her friends was like, yo, he must be gay if he's not fucking you that. Like, no, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Because women have to justify why. You met all my expectations and I'm offering you pussy and you don't want it. You met all my expectations. Now I'm giving you what I feel is the highest value that I have and you don't want it. What's wrong with me? Nothing's wrong with me. It's something wrong with you then. No, it's something wrong with you. And not only you, it's something wrong with our mentality of how we view relationships. That's really what it is. The transactional expectations. There's no reason why I should be able to meet these expectations that fast and you give me the very thing that produces life. You give me the thing that produces life like it ain't nothing because I met where are your expectations to where you're willing to give me something that produces life? Just because. I get it. We can use condoms, we can use whatever. What expectation did I meet? Now, I get it. You motherfuckers say, well, that should speak to the volume of who you are as a man. No, 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 no. It shouldn't speak to the volume of who I am as a man because you don't know me. You're trusting. And that's where it gets into a whole nother aspect. You don't even understand who I am before you give me some pussy. You trust that I am who I am with the hopes that I don't drop the ball. This is why this is why everybody got trust issues for one, because there, we know shit's performative. You dig what I'm saying? We know this shit is performative. We know that this motherfucker is only doing this because, you feel me? They're trying to get some. I never did anything for no pussy. I did shit to unleash women that didn't even know what I was doing, and by proxy, I got the pussy. You feel what I'm saying? But then it gets to a point where they have expectations that they can't meet. So then it's, oh, this is how the irreconcilable difference come in. When they talk about irreconcilable differences, right? You have to ask yourself, did she grow? On some real shit, man, we continually get better in relationships, especially in marriages. Nobody wants to talk about that part. But then all of a sudden, when we get a divorce or we separate, she still gets half because she was there while we were shooting in the gym or whatever the case may be, blah, blah, blah. But how much do women grow? I'm not shitting on his wife, rest his soul or whatever, but I'm just speaking in Kobe in general, right? Matter of fact, I'm not even gonna use Kobe, still rest his soul, but I'm gonna use a visual example that's fiction. On The Game, Derwin and Melanie, if y'all used to watch the show, Derwin and Melanie were both on trajectories to accomplish certain shit. You feel what I'm saying? Melanie was going to med school. They called her med school, whatever. She was in med school. She stopped switched schools for Derwin and all of this other stuff. Derwin was, developing the shit like this. Right? Now, this is when I say women have to be unleashed. Now, I get it. Well, Melanie, she was doing med school. That's not a woman being unleashed. That's her following rules. That's her developing a standard to have an expectation. And this is why he ended up having a baby with Janae. Janae had her own business. Janae was an unleashed woman. Melanie was a submissive woman. As Derwin is progressing, every time Derwin cheated on Melanie, every time Derwin fucked with somebody else on Melanie, they were creative. They were unleashed women. They weren't submissive women. Drew Sidora, she was a celebrity. She was a music icon. She was doing her own thing. Unleashed woman. Janae, she had her own business. Her dad was the cup holder guy, whatever the case may be. But Melanie, she came from traditional values. She came from values that taught her to go to school, get a good education. Same shit we see now. But be a submissive woman and a good wife to that man. What did Derwin want? He wanted the unleashed woman. Why? Because that's an equal. Because as I'm working towards my goal, you're working towards yours. You see what I'm saying? And when I say goal, I'm not even gonna say goal because goals was in med school and but that's the goal for somebody else. What are you accomplishing for you? Because it's no longer for you when somebody can shift your pivot on it. And what I'm saying is Melanie was in Johns Hopkins at one time and she was able to move over to San Diego just because. So that means that's not your shit. That's not your shit. When it's really yours, can't you just, hey, look, bro, we're gonna have to meet on another level. We're gonna have to see you next lifetime after you get your shit, whatever. But I'm not coming with you because I can't break from where I am. That's how you know somebody who's really down with their own shit. But now when we look at the women, the hoes is women. The hoes and the pick-me's are unleashed people. That's why we want them. The women that we cheat on, the women that we cheat with versus the women that we cheat on. The women that we cheat with are the unleashed women. We bring out that 20% that we not getting in our relationship, but really that 20% is an unleashed woman. Men don't like submissive women, but submissive women are a part of the transactional expectations. You ever like I've yet to meet a man who says who can comfortably be with a woman that he's who can comfortably be with a submissive woman and not. I've yet to meet a brother or a man or anybody who can meet a woman who he can consistently be around who doesn't irritate him when she's submissive. Masculinity is about analysis and deconstruction, which means she has to constantly be synthesizing in construction. Our synergy has to work. I need to constantly have something to break down, which means she has to constantly, this is why you always hear me say, if we can't co-create, we can't procreate. I'm at the phase of my life now where I don't date. I don't have to date. I'm not dating. Oh, let's go eat. Let me see what you like. No, I want to see how you create. I'm going to create some shit. Let me see how you create. Let me see, can you push through and bring your ideas into life? If you can't do that, I can't fuck with you. Because when you bring your ideas to life, let's see how my ideas that are already brought into life or the ideas that you already brought in life, how they can work together or will they conflict with each other? You feel what I'm saying? If we can't co-create, we can't procreate. But yet we have babies with motherfuckers who can't even draw reality out. You feel me? I don't know what you want to do. Like, it's motherfuckers that can't even hold a good conversation with you, and yet they want to talk about everything. No, I don't talk. I communicate. Well, seeing talking is no. Communication is when you speak and you listen. Motherfuckers just talking here. And then they respond. I'm like, that's not what the fuck I'm talking about, yo. Shut the fuck up. You feel me? You hear enough to respond because these people have not created anything. You feel me? Every woman that I've come into terms with within the last 4 years, they were at the cusp. They wanted to be unleashed and they knew. And when they talk to me, it's just like, you made me feel good because you always support me. You always hype me up. I'm not hyping you up. You say you want to do this, do it. I'm going to unleash you. Now, when I unleash you, you have to be the best version of yourself. That's all I want. Like I tell women all the time, I require one thing out of you. Because everything else will come to me when this one thing comes out of you. And that's for you to be your absolute self. I'm the absolute version of who I am. I've reached that point now. I put in all of the work. I've done the necessary things to clean up the old messes of the past and beat. So I can say, this is who the fuck I am. When I do a jam session and shit like that, listen to the content, listen to what I'm doing because this is me. The master in the market, like everything that I'm now doing me. So I want you to do you too. Because last thing I want you to do is say, because now I've learned that when we are both in a co-creative space, when we procreate, our babies come out better. I'm not saying beautiful. I'm not saying cute. I'm not saying smart. Our babies come out better at a higher efficiency because we are now collaborating on a higher level. Because we have to be able to see how deep we can collaborate on a physical level. So we can really replicate ourselves, right? But I don't know what I need to replicate because what is supposed to be unleashed in you? Are you really a terror to the world? And I don't know it. You feel what I'm saying? And are you really willing to be unleashed the way you're supposed to? Because now the unleashing of it all is like you have to be willing to walk away from certain shit. But now, when you're dealing with a structural system in which miserable women now interject onto a woman's life and say, oh, girl, he's trying to control you. He's trying to do this. These are single women telling you shit that's going to keep you single. Because a lot of the times of what they saying is when a woman comes in and she said, this man tried to, now some men do try to control, but I'm not talking about us. Us that's in this motherfucker space right here, we the motherfuckers who know what's up. We the motherfuckers who know how to unleash women. We the motherfuckers who've been in those spaces where we like, yo, I want the best for her. And I do what's necessary to bring the best out of her. But she got to want the best for herself. If she's not willing to change, my guy, she's not ready for love. With India.Arie's song, I highly recommend y'all listen to it. She says, I am ready for love. Why are you hiding from me? Right? And if you listen to the context of the song, she's saying, I want somebody to help draw the best out of me. Listen to it. Everything she's saying is the mirror of what she is. You need to, someone who understands music, respects art, thinks something with the spirit world and respects his heart and thinks with his heart or something like that. Those were the lyrics of what she was saying of what she means that she's ready for love. But with love comes correction. I am ready to grow and be corrected. Now, as men, we have to understand what correction truly is, not control. Because they teach us about the expectation. Oh, now you be controlling. You control the situation. No, when I lead you, I correct you. I don't control you. I'm not in the front controlling you. I got to really be in a position that when I'm breaking this shit down and I'm telling you what's what and I'm guiding you, it's because this is where you're supposed to be. You feel me? Like the shorty that I was involving myself with, who was, sitting on that $1 billion idea. As soon as she told me what she wanted to do, I said, go for it. I said, all right, let's put the pieces together. Like, there was another woman that I was dealing with. She was like, yeah, I want to open up my own school. All right, bet. This is the next step that you got to do. Everybody talks that shit. Women talk that shit about, oh, I want a man who's going to support me. No, 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 no. You want a man who's going to cater to your bullshit. Because true support means that I'm putting you in a position to elevate and to be better. Now, when you are in those spaces and I'm putting you in those and you crumble, I can't fuck with you no more. Why? Why would I? Why would I? Because now you're going to make it seem like I'm the bad guy. Those same women make it seem like I'm the bad guy. Well, one of them does. The other one, she was, oh, I had so much positive impact while you was in my life and this, that, and the third. I know. I remember. I know she was talking about me. She didn't have to admit it, but I think she posted like a Snapchat or something like that. I should have known not to be fucking with her when she had Snapchat, but you feel me? I think it was a real story or something, but what she posted was the song with Leah. She was like, I finally understand these lyrics. Because I think it was FaceTime and I had fell asleep or some shit. And whatever it was, but it had to be like 2:00 in the morning or some shit. And so I was sleeping like 4 hours a day at this time, just so I can fit her into my life. And because she worked overnight or whatever the case may be. And then I remember her posting the song. She's like, I finally understand these lyrics. And it was Aaliyah's that At Your Best. And it was the part where she was like, she said, you're positive motivating force within my life. And she was like, I finally understand this line. But who she have in her motherfucking circle? She had literally the angel and the devil on the shoulder, right? One of them motherfuckers said, yo, do you know how much better you are with him in your space? But there was only one person doing that. For everybody else that was miserable and bitter saying, oh, he trying to control you. Oh, he trying to change you. All I'm trying to do is bring out the shit that she says she's bringing out. She's planting seeds in fertile soil and I'm helping her make it grow. So at some point we have to realize that with the misery loves company, we got to deal with that shit too. When it comes to women, it's like when you have transcended that point and say, I no longer want to just be the expectation meeting motherfucker. I got to be the motherfucker who's going to be unleashing women. You got to make sure that she's not around women who were never able to be unleashed. This is not to say isolate her and take her away on some cultic shit. Fuck no. Let her keep her friends, but pay attention and understand you got an uphill battle. This is you. You're the newest person in her life. They've been there. They're going to have a higher influence than you. And they're going to be angry that you have a better impact than them. Because I can put money onto it. The moment you start unleashing a woman, you have impact on her life. Impact on a woman's life will always transcend the influences that are there. And the influences that are there will stay attacking you because of the impact. Now, I get it. If you have a negative impact on her, by all means, you feel me? I had the girlfriend that I had in undergrad, right? Crazy reality. Her mom fucked her head up so much in the beginning that I had to constantly keep performing to prove myself. Cause she's like, he probably got a girl. Like you tell your daughter tells you that this is the man that she's interested in, and she's like, and you tell her, he got a man back, not a man, he got a girl back home. And because it was my first semester, my first year in college. I get out for summer and I'm going back. She's like, well, he gonna be messing with the girls and shit. So she has a conversation with me and she says, I think of two thoughts right now: out of sight, out of mind, and the heart absence makes the heart grow fonder. I'm like, the fuck that got to do with anything? And she was like, are you gonna go mess with somebody when you go back? I said, nigga, are you? The fuck? She was like, no, well, my mom was just saying, like, oh, okay. Now, mind you, influence. When we split, her mom was like, same mama. It's like, that man made your life better. Nigga, you was one of the catalysts that fucked it up. You was one of the motherfuckers that planted the seeds early that I was gonna cheat on her. You was one of the motherfuckers that planted the seeds that, and the fucked up part about it, she has a husband. Your mother is married to your father. They've been married your entire life. And she convinced you early on, planted the seed early on, that you know he gonna cheat on you. You know he got a girl back home. You know when he go back, he gonna be fucking with somebody. Now, despite saying those things, I helped this woman keep her scholarship because she was gonna flunk out. Her parents didn't do that shit. Her parents weren't staying on her to make sure she was, getting her grades done. I made sure she rebounded it. By the time our entire duration, it was she went from almost flunking out of college with a full ride scholarship. She had a full ride. How do you fuck up a full ride, nigga? You feel me? But she was about to flunk out. Only been there a year. About to flunk out. Straight crash out. To graduating with honors a semester early and landing a job right after that. That's what the fucking unleashing is. Women don't like to be submissive. They don't know that shit. But when they still conflicting, because they don't know that shit because they're conflicted with the reality of how religion plays itself out, how society plays itself out. And that's why they can't forget you when you unleash them. So then afterwards, she's like, my mom says, you made my life so much better. The same motherfucker that told you I was going to fuck it up. You never let that shit go. It planted in your subconscious mind. And then the girl that hooked us up, the woman that hooked us up, she telling, because me and Shorty was friends. We're still friends right now. Best of friends. Matter of fact, motherfucker just sent me a fucking reel of a middle finger. Like we literally send reels back and forth to each other with middle fingers in them. Best fucking friend. We've been friends for, damn, how long? 2008, 15, 13, 20. Damn, we've been friends for a long time. 15 years. Shit, I ain't never had. Damn. But anyway, we've been friends for like 15 years. You feel what I'm saying? 15 fucking years. And in that time, she hooked us up, whatever. So this is what her mama told her. Around the same time, she told her, yeah, when he go back, he gonna have girls. Talking about this, she made me think about that Usher song. You made me want to leave the one I'm with to start a new relationship with you. Your mother is telling you this. Your fucking mother is telling you this. Your homegirls are telling you because he's not fucking you the first night, or he's waiting to actually be in a relationship a little bit longer before he fucks you, that he's gay. This is what you got to deal with. This is what we got to compete with as men, with this expectation shit. You feel what I'm saying? Who the fuck wants to deal with that? But we got to. You know why? Because we got to complete the expectation. If we don't, we zesty, we this, that, and the third. But we really need to realize we got to change our whole reality. This relationship template don't work. And it's going to be on us as men to say, we're not doing this template anymore. This transactional expectation shit, we're not doing it. Because now women's expectations get more unrealistic. Now, the people that meet their expectations are the people they dogged out on the bottom. As they say, the people you step on the way up are the people that you got to see on your way back down. You see what I'm saying? So women have these expectations. So as the men are climbing the building, it's like, now I meet your expectations. I remember when I was trying to get your attention. It goes from me trying your attention to me having to deny it. I don't want you no more. I'm going to play with you. I don't even have to unleash you. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all be seeing those pranks. They're not pranks at this point. They really just skits and shit. Because now niggas just, they do this shit on purpose. But the gold digger pranks, you feel me? Motherfucker, hey, can I talk to you for a second? But I don't talk to men who this, that, and the third. And it's like, yo, you see him getting, oh, you don't apply pressure enough. Like, no, stupid. That's the expectation. You didn't meet my expectation. Like, as men, a lot of women don't really pay attention to this. Like, but as men, we got to meet your expectation in 30 seconds to get your phone number. Y'all wonder, they be wondering why we lie and why we so good and have, because, oh, you got to have charm. I got to be able to get your number in a minute and a half off the first time I see you. That's not for the faint of heart, bro. That's not for the faint of heart. As a motherfucker who does it and who did it, that shit's not easy, dog. And it gets stressful. When you start getting rejected and shit like that, bam, 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 you got to get through it so you can cut through the filter. But you get to a point where it's like, yo, this shit crazy. And then you You get the number in a minute and a half to find out the pussy trash. You meet the expectation that this wasn't worth it. Because the goal is I'm gonna meet all your expectations so I can fuck. You feel what I'm saying? But now when you switch it, I promise you, switch the shit to producer and say, start dealing with women who you can unleash. You'll start to realize what kind of pussy you want. That's another thing that we don't really spend enough time with. What kind of sex do we want? Like, we know we want some pussy, but do I want that? You feel me? I get it. If y'all clip this shit, y'all can call me zesty if you want to. I don't give a fuck. I'm at the point in my life where I know what kind of pussy I want. And the only pussy that I want has to be creative. I'm not fucking with you motherfuckers who just consume. The fuck? What do you produce in this world? I'm not fucking you if you're not producing shit. I'm not fucking you because as a man, I have to produce in order to lead. I have to produce in order to be that forefront. I have to produce in order to even be selected. My mating ritual, I have to be a producer, a provider, a protector. I have to be that already in order to even get your motherfucking attention. And you think I'm just going to give my dick to a motherfucker who ain't producing shit? Fuck no. You can consume these nuts. But the problem is, because there's that transactional shit, there's men that have never ever had it. When they finally meet that expectation to get, like, you got to go through the experience. This is not to say you got to be a hoe or no shit like that, but you got to transition. The men that were left out of the game, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. The men that was like, yo, I was the good guy back in the day, but she wanted it back. No, you were the person who naturally, as men naturally do, who naturally sought to unleash a woman. Bring the best out of her. You complimented her. You hyping her. Yeah, you let the corny motherfuckers call you simps. The only motherfuckers that are calling you simps are the motherfuckers that can't meet expectations. I'm gonna say that again. The motherfuckers that are calling everybody simps, they're not even in the game. They the motherfuckers that can't meet. They can't even make the team to sit on the bench, bro. Sit with that. They can't even make the team to sit on the motherfucking bench. Look at all these motherfuckers that are on these. I don't give a fuck how cool they are. I don't give a fuck. Like, they still single. They still only can't have a healthy relationship. And they're still saying it's the women. They're still trying to blame the women. No, nigga, it's you. You corny. You don't meet expectations. And it seems cool because on the surface, you might look like a motherfucker who got the game and got the juice because now with your social media content, you were able to buy more, you were able to get more money, decorate yourself a little bit, but you still ain't got that that je ne sais quoi on the inside, my nigga. You still never had that it factor. Now you just corny with a good look. You still the same corny motherfucker. Now you corny with a podcast. Now you corny with a platform, but you still the same corny motherfucker. So you only meet surface level expectations. Oh, he's handsome, he's this, that, and the third. But on the inside, you still that corny nigga. As a motherfucker who's never been that corny motherfucker, I can tell you that when I finally became the corny motherfucker and it was like, oh, I could see. Damn, I've been out the game too long. Like, this is different. But when you are in a space where it don't matter what your aesthetic is because your essence supersedes that, you now transcend that expectation shit. You feel what I'm saying? Most of my followers, most of the people that interact with my page, like, and I've had people say this over the years. They like, yo, I had somebody talk shit, a woman. She was like, you need to be careful about what you say because you know most of your audience is women. I didn't make most of my audience women. I'm literally talking to dudes. You feel what I'm saying? So Frail Conversations, it was because it was around the time So Frail came out. I'm talking to my brothers to elevate. It ain't my fault women are nosy. No, and at the time, I think my metrics, it was like 50%. It was about 50-50. But the men, because we real ones, and this is how we operate, we don't be commenting and liking all the motherfucking time. We respect each other, though. We know that this was a dope post. We might share it. You and I got to see it. But the women are the one, oh my gosh, I love that you said this. I'm not doing this shit to get no pussy. If this is the pussy you think I'm trying to get, no. This the easy one. This the easy shit. I get some of them are baddies. I get it. But this is easy. I've been able to do this since I was 12 fucking years old. Don't disrespect me like that. So Shorty's like, you need to be careful because you know your audience is women. I didn't make my audience women. I'm not catering to women. I'm literally talking to how to make men better. It's not my fault that this is the expectation that they already had set and I superseded that. Superseded it so much that they flocked to me. They flocked to me. I didn't intentionally set my audience up to be women. Because look at my brands. If you look at my brands and you look at the content that I make, So Frail, Hitting It Raw, Mastering the Market. Those are my main brands. So Frail, Mastering the Market, Hitting It Raw. How does that apply to women? Women don't trade on a regular, don't trade and invest on a regular basis. That's pretty much a male dominated thing. You feel me? I'm literally talking about masculinity. You feel what I'm saying? Okay, the health and nutrition, hitting the raw, whatever the case may be, that I can see how that can play into it. But outside of that, look at my, listen to my, I'm not telling women shit, but they hear. Why? Why? Validates my entire conversation right now. Because I unleashed them. I unleashed them in the world where they realize submission really don't work. And they don't know what it like. I've had women who I haven't even no idea. They'll just randomly send me a DM. Yo, you help make my life better. Who are you? I don't say that, but I'm like, who the fuck are you? Because I remember you made this post about this, that, and the third, and it got me moving this, that. Oh, so you want to be unleashed. You was inspired and you did it. You feel me? I don't fuck with the women who are on the space of the expectation. Like I don't have to exploit women's weaknesses, darknesses, and none of that shit to get them. Because when I get them, I got them. The women that I'm in the space with, the women that are in my space with, they fuck with me because they're going to be unleashed. There's not a woman in my space right now who hasn't become better, whether that be intimate, platonic, or romantic. It don't matter. In some way, shape, or form, they're like, oh, you really, yes, I do this shit for my real friends, for the women I'm interested in. It don't matter. My goal is to make sure that I bring the best out of you. And that's what we have to do as men. Switch the reality and the mentality of I gotta meet this chick expectation, because you're gonna see her like a hoe after you fuck her. The pussy wasn't even worth the motherfucker expectation. However, when you unleash that woman and you bring the best out of her, you see how the pussy was catered exactly for you. And don't forget to check out Cafe Clothing, formerly Just Scenes merch. Get all of your intricate designs crafted specifically for the melanated being to develop a positive imagery within self and to have a little bit of fun in the process. From the peace, love, knowledge, and freedom to the dead horses and water designs, all the styles are crafted for the imagery to make you feel as you're supposed to feel. Because as I always say, the best way to fit in is to stand out. And what better way to stand out than with your exclusive styles from Cafe Clothing. All right. I'm gonna end it there. That last part was so misogynistic. You see how the pussy is catered to you, but for real though, because when you start to align with what's aligned with you, it works, man. I'm not in a space no more where I'm trying to figure out what kind of woman is for me or what that. I don't have a type no more. I used to, and my type still pops up in my space, but I'm not attracted to it anymore. I'm only attracted to women that are. Are you creative? Can you create something? Even if it's small, like, can you actually create and produce something? A lot of people don't realize that that's what men are looking for. We're looking for women that producing shit. We're looking for women that can actually physically produce some shit. And when they produce, we can produce with them because we have analysis and deconstruction. They have synthesis and construction. You're not a creative woman, bro. She's not a fucking creative woman. And she's not a fucking creative woman. What the fuck am I going to do with her? Other than make babies. And now that's that, because now when she's able to co-create, that means she cares for what she brings into this world. You feel me? When I give you an idea, if you can bring the idea that I like, I can anticipate that. But when I can anticipate that when our kids come into this world, we can fuck with each other. But now, when I give you an idea and you say, "Oh, I'm not up for that," why would I have a baby with you? If I'm trying to create something tangible, for example, I got hip to this with the women who were saying, I'd be like, "Yo, you want to learn how to trade and invest?" No, I'm gonna leave that for you. Mm, 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 okay. If you'll do that in the basic level of creation, mentally, on mental creation and spiritual creation, I can see that you're going to do the same thing. That's the only way that I could trust it. You feel what I'm saying? But until I can step into my space and say, you know what? I fucks with you on this level, but I only fucks with you because you're a creator. Social media got everybody fucked up thinking that they're all content creators. No, you can be a content creator, but content creation is just stealing. You can steal other people. Can you genuinely create content that is authentically you? Authentically you, sorry. And do it in a way in which like the podcast space, these niggas ain't content creators or content duplicators. Why the fuck is everybody talking about the same shit in the same way? Because it goes back into how the relationships are built. These relationship concepts, everything is still based off the foundation that relationships are transactional expectations. What do I expect out of this? And the expectation is women set the expectation, men meet it, and women reward men for meeting it. And now men continue to decide whether or not this reward is worth it. So women be like, you ghosted me and this, that, and the third. They be looking like we fuck boys and shit. No, this is the harmony that is created with this type of relationship system. It's that simple. It's that simple, but it's that complex because nobody wants to listen to the shit. You feel me? Women set the expectation. Men meet the expectation. Women reward the win. Men decide what to do next. They always say, how come men change once they get the pussy? How come men change once the relationship starts? Because I met the expectation. That's all I had to do. Now you have to continually reward me. I need more. I had a woman tell me one time, this was when I was in undergrad. I spazzed on her a little bit. We sleeping in the bed and she's clicking her phone. She's typing the shit and she had her nails done shit. She's doing it on purpose. Real narcissistic shit. She's like, oh, I'm so bored. I said, well, get the fuck out of my room. I got class in the fucking morning. I said, you don't do shit all day, but motherfucking stay on fucking Facebook and do stupid shit. What do you do that's positive in yourself? I said, you ain't got the same difficulty of major that I got. You feel what I'm saying? I got to graduate. I don't know what the fuck you got going on, but I'm getting out this motherfucker. No, I wasn't meaning like that, but you said it like that. So either you go or shut the fuck up. Mm, mm. That's like, no, get the fuck out or go to sleep. I got class in the morning. You're bored. I'm not gonna entertain you. I'm not a fucking clown. But those are one of the things that I started to realize. People like that, they don't have creativity. They don't have the wherewithal to drive to produce anything. They're leeching off of your production. My brothers, a lot of the situations that we involve ourselves with is that we meet these expectations and we deal with leeches. They program our women to be leeches. A lot of our women can't do shit but drain off of a motherfucker. And when you're not producing at the level that they can drain from, they'll give you every nickname they can. You feel me? Rather than being able to produce something that nourishes them themselves. I don't want any woman dependent upon me. I want her to be able to find me dependable. But the way in which this relationship template is set up, you have to be dependent on for the expectations to work. And like I said, when she sets the expectations, we meet the expectations. She rewards us for meeting the expectations, and then we continue to meet the expectations if the reward is worthy. When I get the pussy from the jump, that's the highest reward. What the fuck am I gonna do? When all you can give me, like the same women that will always give me pussy, like right, they be like, what do I do for you? Wow, I should listen. But nah, you ain't got to do nothing for me, baby girl. Just fuck me good and say, oh, reward me with the basic shit you was gonna reward me with anyway for meeting your expectations. So when birthday comes, you get pussy. Christmas comes, you get pussy. Or you get socks. But you feel what I'm saying? They don't have the wherewithal, because they don't have to have the wherewithal to make the change, to evolve themselves. As they say, what you won't do, the next man will. Because the next man doesn't know what expectations he has to meet. I've already met the expectations. So now you want to keep the loop going by starting the expectations over, saying, I'm going to go fuck with a man who didn't meet the expectations the first time. But then that window starts to gap, because how do you still have 23-year-old expectations and you in your 30s and 40s? Huh? You still in the same mental space you were. Something that I've learned about the cougars that I've involved myself with, like a lot of them were still young mentally. You feel me? Age ain't shit, bro. When you still have the standard and expectation. Man, I done seen so many titties, bro. I done seen so much pussy in my life that it's like, yo, nigga, it's that easy. Yes, it's that easy. But it's not that easy, because you got to put in the work to be able to override that shit when it comes. I've already put in the work. Like, This is gonna sound so rude, but I'm gonna try to wrap it up. I was talking to the shorty one time, and in talking to her, she was like, I think I was asking her for a number or some shit, and she tried to flex on me, and she was like, "I don't give my number out. I give my Instagram out." I said, "Okay, cool, that's cool." She was like, "You can give me yours, and I can, I'll think about it though." And I was like, "I'll consider it." Trying to flex expectations. I said, "I'd rather give you my website. Visit iamjustcine.com." I was like, IAMJUSTCINE.com. Go visit that. And then we decide what's up. And then she clicked it and started going through my shit. She said, "Oh, she was like, okay, I see you. I know. I don't want your number now, though. But from giving you my website, I already eclipsed your fucking expectations. And I don't even know what expectations I have for you." How many times have we been in that space as men? We're meeting her expectations and we don't even know what expectations. We don't even have expectations for her. That's what real unconditional love is. I know it took me a long time to get back to that point, but it's back. That's what real unconditional love is. And I don't think women are capable of loving that way in the current context of relationships being based on transaction and expectation. We have no choice but to love unconditionally because in order to meet those expectations, we have to know what they require, which means we have to learn everything about this person, good, bad, and ugly, and say, you know what, I'm going to meet these expectations regardless, just to get the reward of some pussy. And if we don't meet the expectations, we get nagged, we get all of these different things, and it becomes problematic, toxic. The relationship model is always going to be toxic when it's built off transactional expectation. If my brothers, you want to have better, fruitful relationships and shit, one, you're going to have to stop looking for your type because only your type has expectations. Your attraction has something totally different. You got to be able to see what you want. And you got to be able to see the depths of that person and learn how to unleash it. Hype them up. Tell them that when you see what a person is working towards, that's what you exploit. And I don't mean exploit it in a bad way. Please, please, please hear me way. I don't mean negative exploitation. I mean, well, okay, I'm going to say enhancement then because I don't want to use that word. When you see what it is, see if you can add value to it. See what somebody's working on and see what you can add value to. That's where you find your way into unleash your, hey, you should look into this, try this, boom, 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 like move and get into this spot, get into this spot. If everything that I'm doing doesn't enhance you, doesn't improve you, doesn't make you better, doesn't correct you, I can't love you. And if everything that I'm doing, you refuse to allow to change you and transform you, you don't want to be loved. Why are we fucking with each other? Seriously, why are we fucking with each other? I'm at the point in my life I ain't doing shit for aesthetic no more. I ain't doing shit for if my presence in your life does not make you better, I have no desire to be here. If your presence in my life does not make me better, I have no desire to keep you here. You're wasting my time and I'm wasting yours. If you cannot co-create with me, if you have not created anything, you feel me? Because a lot of time, because of the way society works, a lot of motherfuckers have just been obedient their whole life and they think that entitles them to a good person. No, the only thing that's going to get you the person that you want is you being yourself by creating exactly what it is you're supposed to create in this world. And as a man, it's on you to unleash that woman in the capitalist and in a patriarchal world that tells women that they supposed to be submissive. It's on you to tap into the unleashing. When you can tap into the unleashing and start to bring out the things like, because there's a direct correlation to so many women saying, "Oh, I gave up my best years because I wanted to put him first. I used to be a writer. I used to be this. I wanted to do this," and they did absolutely fucking none of it because they were never unleashed. That's it. That's it. And it led to the transactional expectations because they got their words from miserable motherfuckers who still wanted to be unleashed, but are like, you know what? If I can't be unleashed, I'm going to set these expectations and this is what the man has to meet. And then she passes it down. Like the woman whose mother, a married mother, telling her daughter, yeah, he's going to cheat. You filling her mind with shit with the man that she finds pleasure in, the man that is actually making her better. And you don't realize how much better he has made her life until he removes himself from it because she fucks up based off of the expectation that he was going to fuck up because of your words. And rather than bringing the shoe to drop, she went on ahead and said, you know what? Fuck it. Now, she had her own decision. I'm not saying she cheated on me because her mama said what she said, but at the same time, seeds were planted a long time ago that when you start to see certain shit, you feel guilty for you sabotage is easy when there's different levels of catalyzation there. You feel what I'm saying? But now when we look at that on a bigger scale, this is why our relationships are transactional as they are. So many women don't get that. So many women don't realize they're not submissive. That's why they have to be submissive conditionally. If you have to be if there's conditions required for you to do something, you're not supposed to be doing it, or you're not naturally supposed to be doing it. But my brothers, change your perspectives, bro. I'm not gonna say stop chasing women and no shit like that, but find a woman you're willing to unleash. Stop looking for your options and find a decision. You got to know who you are within, though. You got to know what exactly is supposed to be in your life, which means you got to start creating shit that is from your soul and say, hey, this is what it is. This is why I always tell you, your purpose is found on the other side of your pain. You heal that shit. You start to find what your purpose is. When your purpose is, now you align with people like that. Only women that are able to come into my space, they have to be aligned with everything that I'm already creating. And that's what my frequency is. And those women are aligned with that. So now I'm like, I'm willing to make the decision to unleash you. Now I have to see, are you willing to do that? When I'm telling you, hey, yo, you can do this, and you're like, nah, I don't know. This is going to be hard, this, that, and the third. Okay, cool. You only get 2 or 3 times to tell me that shit, and I'm leaving you alone. Damn, you just ghosted me. Nah, it ain't even that. You don't even want to change. So if you don't want to change into what you telling me you want to be, you don't want to be loved. And you can't be loved by me because the way in which I love you is going to make you better. You feel what I mean? I do this to motherfuckers from afar. I do this to women just from by proxy. I'm not even intimately interwoven with them, trying to fuck with them. And I help them elevate and bring themselves out. Like, what the fuck you think is gonna happen to a woman in my space? But you can't be scared of that. And my brothers, I need y'all to be confident enough and stand on that, stand on motherfucking business. Like King Son, like T.I. Son, stand on business. Y'all gotta stand on motherfucking business with this shit. And know that the woman that you need in your life is the woman that you're going to unleash. She's going to be your greatest project. It's not until you create something of difficulty that you realize how much difficulty your woman is going to need to go through. Now, this is not to say be argumentative, petty, and all of that shit. I'm not saying that shit, because when they tell you, oh, relationships will work, no, relationships require the same effort that it takes for you to complete your purpose. That one relationship that you have, when you're making the decision for that person, if they don't feel like your greatest creation, I'm not talking about your children, the greatest thing within you that you feel like innately, like, draw that out. When you can bring that shit out, if you create comic books, it doesn't matter. I don't give a fuck what it is that you do. Whatever it is that you bring out, that you do consistently, if you make music, you write songs, when you do that, if she does not feel like that or make you want to feel like that, that's not it, bro. That means that she's not going to be unleashed the right way. Now, if you're willing to put in the same effort into her that you're putting into everything, and excuse me, and she starts to develop, she starts to change, she starts to catalyze, she starts to grow, she starts to become better, and then you start to see her creating too, that's where you're supposed to be. My biggest fuck up, and this is one of the reasons why I had to get back into music, because I treated that woman the way I treated my music. But I had to go through that, because now getting back into my music, I now know what a woman is supposed to feel like to me. She's supposed to feel like entrepreneurship. She's supposed to feel and go through the process of, you know what I'm saying? Like what it took to be able to master, market, do all these different things, like all of that shit. That's what a woman has to feel, because that's the work I got to put in to achieve the best version of that person, to correct her into that best version. This is not about control. This is about doing what's already there and molding it, analyzing and deconstructing it to get the raw materials to build back up. You feel me? We got to get out of this expectation shit, this transactional expectation, because expectations are easy to meet, because all they want is fucking Olive Garden. Never mind. Oh, I forgot the list. They don't go to Olive Garden and Cheesecake Factory. All they want is Ruth Chris, bro. That's the expectation. And then when you say, and then now they bring in their friends, just they're testing you to see how much money you have. That's it. We got to get out of this shit, bro. Because what's gonna happen is our kids are gonna keep going through this shit, and then the cycle's like our culture will not grow because everything is transactional. Do you got this? Do you got that? Do you got this? Do you got that? Can you create? Because if you cannot create and bring anything into fruition by default, then you will destroy. And if I'm creating and you're destroying, we are neutralizing each other. And that can't be. So I'm gonna go ahead and there you go. Go kiss your babies. Make sure they eat their vegetables. And our sons, look, they're raising their sons without knowing it. They're raising their sons to become the niggas they hate. You feel what I'm saying? They're setting the standard. Okay, this is they're showing their sons what the expectation is that they have to meet for men to be in their space. And then now their sons are going to chase women who have high expectations like that. The very shit that they're condoning for the men, they're denying against their sons. They don't want their sons to go through the very shit they're inflicting on men. We have to, one, be in our sons' lives. Because those women didn't just have babies by themselves. We have to be in our sons' lives. But even deeper than that, we have to be aware of creating sons after we have realized we can co-create with somebody. For some of us, it's already too late. We got babies. But going forward in the future, we have to impart within our sons that if you cannot co-create with her, you cannot procreate with her. You remember a lot of times, and you got to take it back to when we was kids, the reason why our crushes were so heavy in elementary school and shit, because low-key what we don't know is that what we were falling for in our crushes was our co-creation. Because most of the time, the girls that we liked, or whatever the case may be, you liked them in a fun time. Art class, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't during reading. It wasn't during, like, you might see that she was cute, but what really drew you to her was how she drew art. The extracurricular shit that we did, where her creativity thrived. That's where the crush was. Think back to your first crush. Think about the moment when you started liking her. And if it wasn't in one of those artistic abilities, what drove her to you was her style. Her physical aesthetic and her style and the creativity in which she did. She probably had a side ponytail or some shit. Colorful barrettes. But whatever it was, there was creativity there. That's always been innately wired in us. We got to teach our boys, and we got to get back to teaching our boys about co-creation, which means that they have to have a level of creation, and then that person has to be able to appreciate what it is that they're creating in order to be in their space. And then not only appreciate, but be able to collaborate with them when the time comes. Because that's what this is about. We're in competitive relationships and don't even realize it. That's why everything has to be transactional, because it's who's the best competitor. I stopped competing. The moment you stop competing and you start collaborating, your entire relationship dynamic changes. And we need to start off our kids on the right movement. Our sons need to be co-creative, collaborative, co-creative collaborators. Not just because when we're competitors, we lose the competition. We're not able to find the woman that we can enhance and bring the best out of. You feel me? And I get it. Well, if he brings the best out of her too young, she breaks his heart, she's going to create an artist. Then that's when he has to go through that next phase of healing and learning and maturing. It's life. But that doesn't mean he has to stop developing the way in which he co-creates. Now he knows how to co-create the right way and say, I know that these potential things can happen. Now you do the reviews and the levels of the healing and the post-relationship analysis and all that good shit, and you develop your mentality according to how you need to heal. You got to go through it. You feel me? But you got to learn through the experiences. So that's what we need to teach our sons. Make sure that they are prepared to be co-creators before they're ever competitors. Because then they get to a point where it's like, ain't no competition. She know what's up. You feel me? And then our shit moves from there. But I'm going to go ahead and end it right there because it's long as fuck. Go kiss your babies. Make sure they eat their vegetables. And I'm going to see y'all all on the next one. Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom. I'm out.